Hello, grade 12 students, and welcome to a new technical English lesson. Today we will study Unit 2, Lesson 2, Part 1, Course Book page 12, Workbook page 9. Let's start our lesson. Let's start with the objectives of today's lesson. After studying this lesson, you will be able to describe the process of injection molding of plastic using diagrams. In our starter today, you have to watch a video about injection molding and answer the following question. What is the principle of injection molding? Try to find the answer to this question in the video. Please watch the video carefully and don't forget that the source of the video is written under the video here. Let's watch the video.
Plastic injection molding is the most common method for mass manufacturing of plastic products. The principle is simple. Inject the melted plastic material to a mold cavity, let it cool, and then solidify it into the same shape as the contour of the cavity. The process involves three main parts: injection machine, plastic injection mold, and plastic pellets. Plastic pellets in the hopper are filled into the barrel. Then, the screw transports the pellets forward. The heat bands wrapping around the barrel warm up the plastic pellets. As the pellets are moved forward by a rotating screw, they gradually melt. Once enough melted plastic is in front of the screw injects the melted plastic into the mold cavity. The mold temperature is controlled by the temperature controller. It is much lower than barrel temperature, so the molten plastic solidifies in less than a minute. The clamping plate moves backward. The mold opens. The push bar of injection machine pushes the ejector plate and the part is ejected. After that, the mold closes and the process repeats.
Now, what was your answer to the question? What is the principle of injection molding? Can you say your answer aloud? It's okay. Now, let's start our lesson. Let's start with studying and learning some new vocab which you will learn and you will need it in our lesson today. And let's start with the word cavity. Cavity means, look at the picture and you can find the meaning. You can guess the meaning. Cavity means an empty space. An empty space. This is what do we mean by cavity. Then we have the word cylinder. It's easy. This word is easy. Cylinder. A solid or hollow tube with long straight sides and two circular ends the same size, or an object shaped like this, often used as a container. Now let's move to the next word. It's a verb, feed, and the past fed. The past participle is fed. Feed in industry means to supply something to a person or thing, or to put something into a machine or system, especially in a regular or continuous way. Inject. It's easy. To use a needle and a syringe, a small tube, to put a liquid such as a drug into a person's body. Injection molding. A process used for making plastic objects in which melted plastics is forced into metal shapes and left until it is hard. hopper. A large tube, wide at one end, through which large amounts of small, separate things, for example, seeds, can be moved from one container to another. Mold. Mold means a hollow container in two halves used to shape a material. Our next word is nozzle. Nozzle means a small hole through which soft plastic is pushed. Pellet. Small pieces of dry plastic used in the process. Ram. A moving part in a machine that puts pressure or force on something. Rotation. Rotation, as you can see from the picture, turning with a circular motion around a central point. Our last word is the word solid. Solid. As you can see from the picture here, we have this three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Solid means hard or firm, keeping a clear shape. Now please open your workbook, page 9, exercise number 1. You have to match the parts 1 to 7 used during the injection molding process with the descriptions A to G. Try to read the definitions carefully. You have 5 minutes. When you finish, play the video to check your answers. You can start now. Welcome back, my dear students. Now let's have a look at the words here: pellets, melt, heater, rotation, nozzle, mold, cavity. Let's read the definitions. An electric or steam heated device which warms the cylinder. Turning with a circular motion around a central point. Type. Let's answer. Melt. It will be C. Melt means to change from a solid to a liquid state. Number 3, heater. Heater. It's A. An electric or steam heated device which warms the cylinder. Rotation. Rotation. Turning with a circular motion around a central point. Nozzle. It's E. A small hole through which soft plastic is pushed. Mold. It's G. A hollow container in two halves used to shape a material. Cavity, as we said, an empty space. Now please open your course book, page 12, exercise number 1. In this exercise, you have to study the process illustrated in the diagrams carefully, then answer the 3 questions below it. Take your time, and when you finish, play the video again to check your answer. Study this diagram carefully and try to find the answer to the 3 questions. You can start now. Welcome back. Now we have 3 questions. Why is heat used? What is the function of the screw? Which of the following items do you think are shaped using this process? Let me tell you something. We will learn the answer later. Let's move now to exercise number 2. All you have to do in this exercise is to rearrange these sentences into the correct order according to the diagrams in exercise number 1. Take your time to rearrange the steps, then play the video again when you finish to check your answers. You can start now. Welcome back, my dear students. Now let's check your answers. Injection molding of plastic. What is the first step? Yes. Small pieces or pellets of plastic are fed from the hopper into a cylinder. Step number 2. It's E. The pellets are pushed along the cylinder by a rotating screw and heated. Number 3. The screw stops rotating and then a ram in front of the screw moves straight forward. Number 4. The soft, warm plastic is pushed towards a nozzle by the ram. Number 5. The soft plastic is injected through the nozzle into a shaped cavity between the two halves of a mold. Number 6. Inside the cavity, the plastic is cooled by the mold and becomes hard. The final step is the mold opens and the cold, hard, solid plastic shape is ejected. Now let's check your answers to the 3 questions in exercise number 1. Let's begin with the first question. Why is heat used? Why do we use heat in this process? To soften the plastic pellets. Let's move to question number 2. What is the function of the screw? The screw turns and moves the pellets and then the plastic fluid along the cylinder towards the nozzle. Question number 3. Which of the following items do you think are shaped using this process? We have 6 shapes here. Which one of them do you think are shaped using this process which we studied in our lesson today, injection molding? All the items except number 2 bottle and number 6 bag can probably be made using this process because they are solid objects which can be molded in a cavity like the one in the diagram in exercise number 1. The bag and the bottle are probably made using the blow molding as shown in the next section. The telephone handle would be made in 2 parts. Now, find 2 words in exercise number 2 contain the letters eject. Which one means thrown out and which one means pushed in? Take your time. You have 2 minutes. Find the 2 words that ends with the 2 words. Each one ends with the suffix eject. Good. Let's now check the answer. Thrown out, it's ejected. Pushed in, excellent, injected. This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. Till we meet again in a new lesson. Goodbye.